maybe let's just start with you telling me who you are and what your connection is to the people that you've nominated, as well as what compelled you to nominate them.
Eileen is my name. I work for Reynolds Travel Centre in Gauteng. They are my directors, which is Mary Reynolds, Irene Ferreira, and Vicky Reynolds. Also, my direct line manager is Winnie Stein. They are wonderful people. They are trying to keep our company together, which is, for me, is awesome. After all these hardships that we've had, they haven't retrenched one person. We've never received lower than a 50% salary, and they've even gone as far as applying for us for UIF, the balance of our salary. So for me, they try to keep us motivated by doing quizzes and fun days, and they're really just going out of their way to make sure that the staff is motivated and ready to work. And that makes me feel, just to tell everybody else as well, let's just go for it. If our directors are positive, we can also be.
Fantastic. And how long have you worked with them?
2.5 years.
Excellent. And longer. Sorry, yes?
And hopefully for much longer.
And are there any ways that the way they've conducted themselves, especially during this time, which has been so tough for the industry, and how much care they've taken of their staff and their people, that's changed your approach to life and your attitude to maybe helping people down the line?
Yeah, definitely. It's just, at times during this lockdowns and stuff that we've had, you feel like, oh, you want to give up. And they just never gave up. They go out there, get new business, just keep fighting and keep pushing forward and doing stuff in the industry to just accommodate more people. And I mean, for me, looking up at them and thinking, wow, if they can do it, having all this responsibility with all the staff members that they've got, the little bit that we can do on the side, it's just, we want to just push with them, get out there and just get things done. Yeah.
Fantastic, Eileen. Thank you so much for the nomination. Okay, welcome. So today we have a couple of members of the team from Reynolds Travel, and what I'm going to start with is just go to each of you, if you could just introduce yourself and tell me who you are and what you do. So we'll start with Mary.
Yeah, hi everybody. So I've been with Reynolds Travel since 1981, when I took it over from my husband in 1978, who I kicked out in 81 because it's not good working with the boss. So yeah, I've been with Reynolds Travel since 1981, and it's been a wonderful journey and a test of time, and what and have done in the past 40 years is work with an amazing team and have on my board 2 amazing directors and an amazing team in my management and in my staff. So yeah, I work with the team, and here we are still.
Lovely. And then over to Irene, please.
Hi. So yes, Irene joined Mary in 1997, so 24 years anniversary this year. It actually really feels like I actually just joined yesterday, like I have just loved every moment. And so I take care of the office, and I make sure that the account speaks to the corporate side and the corporate speaks to leisure, and that everyone's chatting and everyone's getting along, that our clients are being looked after. So just like making sure everything runs so smoothly. And yeah, in these times, whilst in the beginning of the pandemic, it was really frightening and very let's go back. I don't want to talk about that now. You're going to have to edit that. So yeah, been with Mary for 24 years and looking forward to the next 24 years.
Lovely. And then over to Ricky.
So yes, I'm Ricky Reynolds. Unlike my mother, who didn't want to work with the better half, I need to work with my mom here. Soon Irene will kick her out. I'll let Irene do the dirty work, which is absolutely fine with me. But I was brought into the business roughly about 7 years ago. And the whole reason for me coming in was basically to move the company forward in terms of moving with the times, going along with technology, and making sure that we're actually ahead of the curve and we're not just going to sit back and watch everyone else just ride the wave while we try and survive. And I feel we've actually done quite well in that sense. With the help of Irene, who keeps telling me, this is what the client wants. I don't care how it happens, make it happen. And I do. And that's how she keeps everything running very well. And again, Mary, with all the support that she does in terms of the finance and the relationships that she builds with everyone. So yes, thank you.
Thanks, Ricky. And then we'll what I wanted to ask is, I mean, obviously, you know that the reason we're chatting to you today is because you've been nominated as 3 people that are essentially super lifters, that lift people up in your organization and probably in the industry as well. So, Ricky, I'd like to know from you, I mean, before we start chatting about, because I know this nomination was very much based on the way you've supported your team during the pandemic, but maybe we can chat a little bit more about the sort of vision of the company before the pandemic, how you kind of identified Reynolds Travel as a company that, you know, was part of the bigger industry and lent a hand when it could.
No, absolutely. So with regards to that, the whole where Reynolds Travel is and had a vision for within the industry is that we were very much, before technology came in, we were very much high touch, very personal based. And that was Mary's philosophy going through this whole thing. And if there's anything that she's built into me and built into the whole company is how to keep those relationships going, how to make sure that your client knows exactly who you are and they know who to call and so on. But the vision for the company then started to move because we started to lose touch of the technology that was happening, everything going online and so on. So what we did was, the whole thing was to bring Mary's vision of the high touch and the relationship building to the technology side of it. So we placed ourselves within the industry as a high touch technology service, whereas a lot of companies have gone completely technology and or they're completely high touch. We've based ourselves in the middle, and we're looking at growing the business in that sense because we know that's what clients do. As much as technology works for people and is efficient and is great, but when something goes wrong, who do you call? You know, it's that sort of combination that we've brought together to move the company forward. So that was the vision and still is the vision. It has not changed.
Thanks, Ricky. So maybe we can chat a little bit more about your team. So it's always quite telling when a nomination comes from within a company, because a lot of the nominations we've seen have been people that maybe worked with somebody sort of early on in their career, and it's quite nice to see that it's coming from somebody that's still immersed within your company and felt so supported by you during this time. What has been your approach to helping your team, especially in the last 12 months or so as we've been dealing with this pandemic?
Yeah, it was quite a challenging time, and I must say both Ricky and Irene rose to the challenge and they kept the team so informed all the time. We made sure that they were in the loop on all the decisions that were being made. They were part of the decision making as well, that we had buy-in from them before we took any decisions. We never took any decisions without consulting the management team, who then consulted with their teams. And so we had this an amazing unity at Reynolds Travel, nobody pulling one way or objecting. There was complete and 100% buy-in from all the staff. And I think if you have that kind of buy-in and your team are behind you and support you, and you support your team, it's just a recipe for success. And, we posed the question, very, very hard questions to them, and they all consulted with one another and came up with such amazing solutions. Ricky and Irene and I were just overwhelmed and so full of gratitude to them that it all happened, and they came together with this wonderful final decision and supported us in the way forward. And yeah, this is where we are today because of them, really.
Great. And Irene, I wanted to ask you, you know, hopefully now with the vaccination program slowly starting to roll out, and it seems like numbers are hopefully on the decline, and hopefully we're not heading into another third wave. But Irene, what were some of the things that you've learned during this time about your team and how you've been able to work together as this unit where everybody's been involved in the decisions that are going to be things that you keep in play in the future as well?
So yeah, in the beginning, of course, everyone sort of just focused on the pandemic and the immediate bleeding that would happen in a company. And we just took it from the beginning that any decision we would make would be obviously taking our business into account and our clients, but definitely taking our staff, the well-being of our staff, trying to maintain our entire team, which successfully so far, and we hope to continue to do. And so, yes, for me and for Mary and for Ricky, it's always been family business. It's always been about relationships with your teams, with your staff, because at the end of the day, they are looking after our clients and they are the face of Reynolds Travel. That is who our clients see. So yeah, from the beginning, we had a focus, we had a way on how we were going to do this, and I think we've successfully rolled it out over the next 12 months. So yes, for me, there's always a silver lining. So with every drop of news that we get, whether it be the numbers dropping or the rollout of a vaccine or a new vaccine landing in a week's time, I try and keep in tune with all that news. And for me, that is always hope. So we try and make a goal for us every month. We try and hit that goal every month. We get the team on board. And at the end of the day, we try and let them focus not on the turmoil of what's happening in our industry, but they need to have the same focus as we have. Like Ricky says, our focus has not changed from 12 months ago. It's about bringing in new business. It's about taking care of what we have. It's about evolving. It's about keeping with the times. And we have their complete buy-in. So yes, it's about, don't worry about what's going out there. You need to focus on what we're here to do, and we need to survive this together.
I think also what's made this nomination unusual is that we normally have a super lifter in an organization, and here we've got three, which is really exciting. I wanted to maybe go over to you, Mary, and just find out what is special about this dynamic between this trio that makes it so effective as a trio of super lifters.
Oh, and I can't tell you how amazing Irene and Ricky have been. Irene's been looking after the runnings and the operational side and the psychological side and all the sides and the motivation side and making sure that service levels don't drop and all the nitty gritty. And then Ricky has complemented her on the travel IT side and the technology side, and they make an amazing team together. And what's amazing is that they're always still, you know, you always think that towards the end of your career, you sort of going to be dispensed with, but in a way, they've leaned on me for the experience and the support, and we make an amazing team. And I'm just so grateful for these two young dynamics that I managed to secure at Reynolds Travel, securing the longevity of Reynolds Travel. So, and the transition's been so amazing because they've stepped up to the challenge, they've stepped up to the plate, they consult with the team, they consult with our clients, and then report back to me with these amazing ideas. And we just get on so well. We don't, there's no such thing as you do this and I'm not doing that, or we just seem to gel so well together and just fit in where the other one left off, or you know. So I'm very, really grateful where I am today and where Reynolds is, and the longevity and the security of Reynolds Travel as a name, even if I'm not there. So Irene and Ricky are now, you know, a lot of my clients don't even know that I'm gone. The transition has been so amazing that they look to Ricky and Irene and they mention me, how's Mary? I'm gone. But they look to both of them, and this is so gratifying for me and for the staff.
Yeah, I think that's also the lovely thing here is you've got, the different generations, and when you manage a seamless kind of transition like this, it's really telling because it can so easily, and I think we've all seen it go the other way. So it's a really beautiful thing when it comes together in a way that just feels, the client feels supported, the team feels like they've got strong leadership, and that's a really magical kind of balance to get right. Ricky, I think we'll just finish off with you. I wanted to ask you specifically if, in terms of once you guys are all back to work as per normal, what are some of the things that you're looking forward to most?
Well, to be perfectly honest, it's just the constant change within the industry. So COVID's brought through different needs now, like different companies have had to change their aspect of how they do business, with whom they do business and so on, and like also what products they have to offer out there. And I think which is quite nice is with our partners that we have, is that we're looking to not just do travel anymore, we're looking to bring in the expense management side of it. So where we used to do flights, cars, hotels, but now we're looking at how much is that trip actually going to cost you, because every company is looking at savings. So now we want to see how much an entire trip actually costs. So we're bringing in new products and expense management side of it to add to what we already have to give to the client. So they've got an entire package now to actually go forward. So that's what I'm quite excited about, because we're moving forward, not just with the technology side of it, but actually to bring through clients' needs, like to see what COVID's done and to see how it's changed, how people are looking at the expenses now. Now we're going to bring that into the travel as well. So that's what I'm excited about, and about everything else.
Fantastic. Irene, do you have anything that you'd like to add?
Yeah, I think, like we don't know when we will all be back at the office. At the moment, we have 50% at the office and then 50% at home and vice versa. So for me, like I miss the buzz of the office. I miss the walking in and all the desks busy and the chit-chattering and the walking around and the excitement, and like it's a very busy office. It's a loud, energetic office, and for me, that's probably what I am missing the most is seeing all my staff there. It's just seeing the fullness of the office and just the interaction that they each have with each other. So for me, that would be it. And visiting clients face to face to carry on.
Yeah.
To like.
That makes sense. I mean, if you're a super lifter, it makes sense that what fills your cup and what gives you lots of energy is being with people and being with the industry and being with your team. So it makes sense that would be the thing that you're looking forward to the most. Yeah. Well, thank you so much to the three of you for joining us today. And yeah, thank you for being super lifters.